Shalom Uvracha. In this week's Parashat Bo, I want to explain a certain verse, a pasuk. The pasuk is like this: Pasuk Zayin, verse 7 in chapter 11, Perek Yud Aleph, Pasuk Zayin. Ulechol bnei Yisrael lo yecheratz kelev leshono lemeish ve'ad behema lema'an tedeun asher yafle Hashem ben Mitzrayim uven Israel. The translation: not one dog will bark ferociously at any man or animal of all the children of Israel, so that you will know that God will have distinguished between the Egyptians and Israel. That's a pasuk, and I want to share with you something very inspirational from the Rebbe Rayatz. As we know, Yud Shvat is coming up. The day is, as we know, Yehudi eino mefached mikelev. A Jew is not afraid of a dog. One of the Hasidim, two of the Hasidim rather, one of them the name was Rabbi Yeshaya of Berlin and Rabbi Yaakov Horowitz. They demanded of the Rebbe Rashab. The Rebbe Rashab was the father of the Rebbe Rayatz. They asked him, "Why are you endangering the Rebbe Rayatz, your son, and sending him to do things on behalf of the community of the Jewish people of Russia that require complete self-sacrifice?" This was the question they asked him. And there was the following that transpired. The Rebbe Rayatz recounted this. His father sent him once to Petersburg, which was the capital city, and there he needed to meet with one of the sarim, high position person who was a very big, very wicked person, Rasha Merusha. Okay, he was in charge of the terrible person called Stolifin, and this man who was in charge of the affairs of the whole country lived in the capital city, where all the distinguished people lived, government distinguished people lived. He lived in a great home, great house, a great mansion, and he had a garden around his mansion and many dogs. Dangerous dogs, obviously. So the Rebbe Rayatz, the previous Rebbe, when he came to Petersburg, he was notified that he cannot visit this man in his home unless he comes Friday night, Shabbat night, Friday night. Since this had to do with saving the Jewish people, Hatzalat Israel, so he went there before Shabbat to prepare a place so that he can stay there right next to the mansion of this great government person. And he put there his talit, the Rebbe Rayatz put his talit there, thinking that if he'll need to be there the whole Shabbat, so he should have his talit. And he explained to the person where he would be staying that he needs to go and on Friday night to this government official, great government official, and that he should show him the way and also wait for him so that he can return with with the innkeeper back to the inn. Because those days were days of winter. In Russia it was very cold. and it was also slippery the way. So this innkeeper looked at him with anger, panim zo'afot in Hebrew, with dislike, hatred. So then the Rebbe Rayatz gave him a coin, I guess an expensive coin, and immediately he turned into a different person, and he fulfilled all that the Rebbe Rayatz asked of him, again to walk him to the mansion of this great government official, and to walk him back to the inn. From the inn and to the inn. Back to the inn. So, Friday night, he went to this great government official. And when he came into the room of this man, in great anger, he said to him, "How did you have the audacity to come to my home at this hour? You're the only son to your father." The Rebbe Rayatz was the only son to his father. He had only one son, one child. So he said to him, again, this terrible government official, great official, he said to him, "How did you have the audacity to come to my home at this hour, Friday night, at the hour he came? You are an only son to your father." And according to it seems like he knew everything regarding about him, about the Rebbe Rayatz. "And how did your father allow you to come to me at this late hour? The dogs could have killed the Rebbe Rayatz, and even alive. He said swallowed him alive." So the Rebbe Rayatz answered him, "A Jew is not afraid of a dog. A dog has the fear, moira and pachad, reverence, as well, perhaps we can say, just to give a different word. A dog," the Rebbe Rayatz answered this government official, "a dog has the fear from another Jew." This story caused the Hasidim to come to the Rebbe Rashab, the father of the Rebbe Rayatz, saying to him, "Why did you send the Rebbe Rayatz on such a dangerous mission that requires Mesirut Nefesh, sacrifice of one's very life?" The Rebbe Rashab, the father of the Rebbe Rayatz, answered the Hasidim, these Gvirim, these great Hasidim, great wealth, I guess, that were supporting the Hasidus. He answered them, when we need to fulfill the inner profound intention. Why was the neshama brought down here? He said, the Rebbe Rashab. The neshama was brought down here and descended down here to this world in a body for Mesirut Nefesh, for sacrifice to God, to His Torah, and to His nation. And it's no matter, en davar, batuach ani she'arich yamim, I'm certain that he will have a length of days, a long life. There's another story he brings down as well. And this is, he brings down the Itgabruta shel hatzura lachomer, the overcoming of the tzura, of the form al lachomer. In other words, when things need to be done, even if it demands Mesirut Nefesh, it needs to be done, and emotion cannot kick in. And the Rebbe Rayatz was very successful in this mission, many other missions, and we know the Rebbe Rayatz, a previous Rebbe, he had great Mesirut Nefesh, if it's for the education of Jewish children in Soviet Russia and Soviet-occupied lands, if it was for mikvos, if it was for so many other things. His great love for every individual and his Mesirut Nefesh and his Mesirut Nefesh, his sacrifice, and simultaneously recording the history of the Chassidim, the stories, true stories, and inspiring the younger generation and the older generation to have the reverence of God and to love their fellow man. And it's inspirational. Thank you.